Good morning. It is now 10:05. The quarterly meeting of the Louisiana Developmental Disabilities Council will come to order. Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone is feeling well on this morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. Will Stephanie please call the roll for attendance?
Ashley Allen.
Here, present.
Patty Berry Vecchio.
Here.
Elizabeth Baham. Here. Brian Bennett. Mike Billings.
Here.
Aidan Blanchke.
Here.
Jude Boynton. Elena Sashry. Jerry Crane.
Here.
James Doyle. Joe Hano.
Here.
Landon Hanks.
Present, madam.
Angela Harmon.
Here.
Therese Kelly Adoli.
Here.
Frank Macaluso.
Here.
Lamar Meta.
Yes, he just connect. You want me to go back? Okay.
Pascal Wynn. Robbie Smith.
Here.
Brooke Stewart.
Here.
Julia Tanner.
Present.
Eric Taylor.
Here.
Renata Washington.
Here.
Gary Williams.
Here.
Karen Ship.
It's got disconnected because I don't see that she's on
Dr. Mata made it over. Dr. Mata. Okay, perfect. Got you here for roll call. Back in. Okay. So you have 1, 2, 3.
Have 19, you have 1. You have 19.
So you have 19, you have 1.
Thank you, Stephanie. At this time, we will have Mr. Mike Billings read the mission statement, and after that, Mr. Brian will read the ground rule.
Louisiana Developmental Disabilities Council mission statement. To increase independence, self-determination, productivity, integration, and inclusion for Louisianians with developmental disabilities by engaging in advocacy, capacity building, and systems change.
I'll now review the ground rules with everyone. Members must be recognized by the chair prior to speaking. Be respectful of each other's opinions. We will break for 10 minutes every 1.5 hours. Discuss council business in a responsible manner. Except as necessary, please restrict the use of electronic communications such as texting during council and committee meetings. Silence or turn off all cell phones. The mission statement is posted at every meeting. Please be on time for meetings. Please avoid the use of alphabets. And please limit side conversations and ensure that they are kept at a minimum, done quietly and restricted to the subject at hand.
Thank you so much. To ensure the meeting runs smoothly and that we all can participate in an orderly manner, please adhere to the following rules. For council members and members of the public attending in person, please raise your hand to speak and wait to be recognized by the chair before speaking. To help the meeting run smoothly, please keep side conversations to a minimum and comments related to the topic we are discussing. For those council members who are attending virtually, remember you must be on camera and have your first and last name showing to be counted for our quorum. Please keep microphones muted unless called upon by the chair. Electronically raise your hand to request to speak and wait to be called on by the chair. For attendees, electronically raise your hand to request to speak. Once recognized by the chair, your microphone will be turned on. After speaking, the microphone will be returned to mute. Also, the Q&A is to only be used by those needing an ADA accommodation to participate in the meeting. Public comment will not be accepted via the Q&A except for those individuals who requested the accommodation. As for order, council members in person and virtually will be allowed to speak first. Public members in person will then be called on, followed by public participating virtually and who have their hands raised. Comments in the Q&A and chat will be addressed last. As with all hybrid meetings, it can be difficult to keep track of all those wanting to speak in person and virtually. So please be patient with us. All comments and questions from council members and the public may be limited to 3 minutes or less should we run into time constraints. So please keep that in mind. Also, comments about a person's character will not be allowed. Finally, members of the public will have the opportunity to provide public comment before each vote and during designated public comment periods. The chair may also use their discretion to determine if comments will be accepted outside of those times. The first item of business is the approval of the meeting summary. A draft of the April 30th meeting summary was distributed. The summary will not be read unless requested by a member. Are there any corrections? Okay, if there is no objection, the meeting summary is approved as distributed. Hearing none, the meeting summary is approved. The next item of business is the chair's report. Okay, once again, greeting all council members. Welcome to our July quarterly meeting. I hope everyone is doing well and looking forward to the work ahead. I want to thank each of you for your time and the knowledge you bring to this council and for your continued commitment to serving people with developmental disabilities and their families throughout Louisiana. Since our last quarterly meeting, I have participated in the following meetings, workshops, webinars, and professional development opportunities. You can read them at your leisure. These opportunities cover several areas that directly connect to our work, including advocacy, special education, mental health and wellness, and emergency preparedness. As chair, I believe it is important that I continue learning, remain connected to the issues affecting our communities, and represent the council in spaces that support our mission. As we continue our work, I encourage us to remain focused, not only on the responsibilities before us, but also on the people our decisions affect. The policies we discuss, the plans we approve, and the advocacy efforts we support have real life implications for people with developmental disabilities and their families. Every member brings a different perspective to the table, and that is one of the council's greatest strengths. Thoughtful discussion allows us to learn from one another and make stronger, more informed decisions. I encourage everyone to continue sharing your knowledge, asking questions, and remaining actively involved in the work of the committees. Leadership is not only about holding a position, it is about being willing to listen, learn, collaborate, and remain accountable to the purpose of the work. As chair, I continue to reflect on how I can serve this council effectively while ensuring that different voices and perspectives are heard and respected. How can I use my voice, experience, and position on this council to help create meaningful change? That is a question I want you all to ask yourselves. Our individual contributions may look different, but each one is important. When we remain connected to our purpose and work together, we strengthen the council's ability to advocate for people with developmental disabilities and their families. In closing, thank you for your continued service and commitment. Next, we will have the executive committee report. I will read that. The executive committee met yesterday and discussed the submitted proposals for activities 2.1.2, 2.2.3, and 3.1.3 in the FY 2027 action plan. The first action plan in our new 5-year plan. Also, the committee discussed activities 2.2.2, 3.1.4, and 3.2.1, which did not receive any submitted vendor applications. The council sent out a solicitation of proposals in May. The committee provided ratings for the proposals prior to the meeting and for those activities that received vendor proposals. Before sharing the executive committee recommendation, the chair asked Ms. Ebony to share the rubric that was used by the executive committee in helping to assess each vendor proposal.
You want me to share the rubric or do you want me to share like the scoring table?
Whichever one, the scoring table, more than likely.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go with activity 2.1.2, creation of early identification of IDD documents. This activity received 1 proposal. After discussion, the executive committee voted to recommend approving the proposal for Milestone Mate. Activity 2.2. One second, we're just waiting to pull it up. Okay, it is now placed on the screen. And I just reviewed activity 2.1.2, creation of early identification of IDD documents. I'll move to the next, activity 2.2.3, workforce development and emergency preparedness. This activity received 1 proposal to build the capacity of people with IDD to meet their own needs through workforce development and emergency preparedness. After discussion, the executive committee voted to recommend approving the proposal from Disability Access Solutions. Activity 3.1.3, partnership with schools on transition training. This activity received 3 proposals to partner with schools to ensure that educators, students with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and families understand transition. After discussion, the executive committee voted to recommend approving the proposal from Bayou Land Families Helping Families. Families Helping Families of Greater Baton Rouge submitted proposals for activity 2.2.2 and activity 3.2.1 after the deadline. Next activity is 2.2.2, transportation needs and barriers study.
You guys don't have ratings for that. Y'all can do ratings for that.
Okay. After discussion, the executive committee voted to recommend change the activity to allow staff to conduct research needed to conduct a transportation study. The staff would then bring those recommendations to the 2028 Planning Committee to take into consideration for the 2028 action plan. Activity 3.1.4. Curriculum for childcare providers and early learning centers to better support children with intellectual and developmental disabilities. This activity received no proposals to create a curriculum for childcare providers and early learning centers. After discussion, the executive committee voted to recommend giving the executive committee authority to review and approve applications after the deadline. The council staff reached out to a couple of organizations that may be interested in completing a curriculum for early childhood providers. Next activity, 3.2.1, regional job fairs and readiness project. This activity received no proposals to complete a job fair training in each region for people with IDD. After discussion, the executive committee voted to recommend the executive committee authority to review and approve applications after the deadline. Next discussion in our meeting was council membership. We received a resignation beginning July 31st from Mike Billings, and the council staff recommended resubmitting one of the applications from the last set of names submitted as recommendations to the governor's office. This applicant would help the council become compliant with the federal regulation of having members in every region of the state. Currently, the council does not have any members in the central or north regions of the state. This applicant, Ms. Audrey Gillum, is a parent from Shreveport, so that would cover the northern part of the state. Next item of business we discussed was council member absences. The executive committee entered into executive session to discuss council member absences, and the bylaws state the executive committee will take action if a member misses 3 quarterly council meetings and or committee meetings in a 12-month period, or 2 quarterly council meetings and or committee meetings in a row in a 12-month period. The executive committee may ask the member to resign if they cannot improve their attendance. If the member does not resign, the committee can ask the governor's office of boards and commissions to remove the member. The council chairperson reports the committee's action at the next quarterly council meeting. After discussion regarding a member who has missed more than 2 quarterly meetings in a row in a 12-month period, the executive committee decided to ask for the council member's resignation. Lastly, the committee conducted the executive director's mid-year evaluation. According to the council's policies and procedures, in July, the executive committee completes a mid-year evaluation and gives the executive director feedback. The chairperson presents the results to the full council at the July meeting. The committee provided feedback, and the executive director made a couple of recommendations as well for council operations, including alternating the Self-Determination and Community Inclusion Committee and the Education and Employment Committee times during our quarterly meetings. For example, yesterday, the Self-Determination and Community Inclusion Committee met at 12:45 to 2:30. And the Education and Employment Committee met at 4:15 to 6. But in October, those committee times would switch so that committee members would have opportunities to have earlier meetings on the Wednesday of the quarterly meetings. The executive director also made the suggestion to suggest that we switch the January 2027 quarterly meeting, which would have been one of the council's virtual meetings, to one of our in-person meetings, since the council retreat is scheduled to happen in January. Consequently, the April and July meetings will be the 2 virtual meetings for the year. This concludes the executive committee report. From the executive committee agenda items and discussion, there are 8 recommendations coming out of the executive committee for the council to consider. We will take questions on one discussion item at a time. Are there any questions regarding the Milestone Mate LLC as the vendor for activity 2.1.2? The chair recognizes Eric Taylor.
This is the one that, the one that we voted on and they start the gun. Right. So. This is the one that this is the one that we chose on, that we wanted them to have the contract. I'm sorry. When would they start?
So this will start October 1st.
Which is Saturday.
No, not August 1st, October 1st.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Okay, so in the October 1st, they would start,
If the council approves it.
if they approve it. So who would be working with them once, if the council approve? Who would start it? Would y'all sit down with them and
Yes.
start something with them?
Yes.
So
yes,
it
for
would
all
be,
of them.
the board, or would it be
Council staff.
the staff or the
Yes.
stuff? Okay. Got it. All right, I'm leaning back over, I got it.
You good. The chair recognizes Mr. Bryan.
I just have a general question. In looking at the proposals, I was curious. I know that there's a certain amount allocated for the different activities. If we select somebody who comes in under budget, do we know what happens with the remaining funds that were budgeted for that?
So I can answer, Renato. So the council decided to allocate 10,000. So the 10,000 is going to go to the contractor regardless. And there were some things that the executive committee brought up yesterday, including an audio version of those materials that they're going to create and a version for visually impaired individuals. So once we are in the negotiating stage with them, I think that they will utilize that additional funding, that additional $1,000 for those other 2 versions that we're gonna request.
Okay.
So they should be able to utilize all the funding. And we would also help them
Yeah.
figure out ways to get to the amount of funding that the council allocated for each project.
Any further questions?
Do have a hand raised, Mr. Landon Hayes.
The chair recognizes you, Landon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have another general question. This Milestone Mates LLC, I have not heard of this particular committee. Could we perhaps provide some context on what they will be vending exactly for this council?
So Landon, this is the activity that you all have in your new action plan that for 2027 that'll start October 1st. For this particular activity, it's activity 2.1.2. The council wanted a vendor to create accessible materials for families to identify early, to make documents that'll help families identify early on individuals with developmental delays. So they'll be able to recognize signs and then maybe go to their pediatricians or whoever else will provide an evaluation to make those early on determinations of those developmental delays.
Thank you, Ms. Ebony. No further questions, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require,
Jill just raised her hand.
the chair recognizes Jill Hayno.
What do y'all mean by audio versions?
So Jill, I mean, my interpretation of that would be the materials that the vendor would create. They would just create a audio version where somebody is reading those materials for those individuals that are hard of hearing. I mean, not hard of hearing,
Hmm.
visually impaired and hard of hearing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
Now there's no more questions.
Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to recommend Milestone Mate LLC as the vendor for activity 2.1.2. Is there any discussion from council members? Any public comment?
None at this time.
Are you ready for the question? The question is on recommending Milestone Mate LLC as the vendor for activity 2.1.2. We will now have a roll call vote. If you are in favor of the motion to recommend Milestone Mate LLC as the vendor for activity 2.1.2, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, could you call the roll, please?
Miss Allen,
Yes.
Miss Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio,
Yes.
Dr. Baravecchio, yes. Miss Bayham,
Yes.
Miss Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings,
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchky,
Yes.
Mr. Blanchky, yes. Mr. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Miss Sashri,
Yes.
Miss Sashri, yes. Miss Crane,
Yes.
Miss Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle,
Abstain.
Mr. Doyle abstain. Miss Hano,
Yes.
Miss Hano, yes. Mr. Hanks,
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Miss Harmon,
Yes.
Miss Harmon, yes. Miss Kelly Dooley,
Yes.
Miss Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso,
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta,
Abstain.
Dr. Meta abstain. Miss Nguyen, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Miss Stewart,
Yes.
Miss Stewart, yes. Miss Tanner,
Yes.
Miss Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. And Miss Shu.
18 yeas, 2 abstentions.
Okay, the yeses have it and the motion is adopted. Disability Access Solutions as the vendor for activity 2.2.3. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to recommend Disability Access Solutions as the vendor for activity 2.2.3. Is there any discussion from council members? Any public comment?
No public.
All right, are you ready for the question? The question is on recommending Disability Access Solutions as the vendor for activity 2.2.3. We will now have a roll call vote. If you are in favor of the motion to recommend Disability Access Solutions as the vendor for activity 2.2.3, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, could you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen,
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio,
Yes.
Dr. Baravecchio, yes. Ms. Bayham,
Yes.
Ms. Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings,
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchard,
Yes.
Mr. Blanchard, yes. Mr. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Sashri,
Yes.
Ms. Sashri, yes. Ms. Crane,
Yes.
Ms. Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle,
Abstain.
Mr. Doyle abstained. Ms. Hayna,
yes,
no, yes. Mr. Hanks,
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon,
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso,
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta,
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart,
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner,
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. And Ms. Shu.
Many yeas, one abstention.
Okay. The yeses have it and the motion is adopted. Next, we have Value Land Families Helping Families as the vendor for activity 3.1.3. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to recommend Value Land Families Helping Families as the vendor for activity 3.1.3. Is there any discussion from council members?
No discussion. I'm sorry, Miss Julia Tanner has her hand raised.
Chair recognizes Mrs. Tanner.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, what made the executive committee go with Byland Families Helping Families over the other two applicants?
In my opinion, it had more of a comprehensive approach to the things that we wanted for that particular activity. All of the applicant proposals were great, but that one just was a little bit more comprehensive for us. Ebony, do you kind of want to just share some highlights or? is that
I mean,
good?
does any of the other executive committee members want to chime in? Angela, Jill, or Brooke? Or Eric?
Well, basically, what we're looking for is they was very detailed of what we was looking for and what we need for the people that's out there with disabilities. They really detailed it, what we basically was looking for, if you understand what I'm saying. I mean,
Yes.
Any public comment? Are you ready for the question? The question is on to recommend Bayou Land Families Helping Families as the vendor for activity 3.1.3. If you're in favor of the motion to recommend Bayou Land Families Helping Families as the vendor for activity 3.1.3, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen,
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchia,
Abstain.
Dr. Baravecchia abstain. Ms. Bayham,
Yes.
Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings,
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchard,
Yes.
Mr. Blanchard, yes. Mr. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Sashred,
Yes.
Sashred, yes. Ms. Crane,
Yes.
Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle,
Abstain.
Mr. Doyle abstain. Ms. Hino,
Yes.
Ms. Hino, yes. Mr. Hanks,
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon,
Yes.
Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso,
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta,
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Quinn, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart,
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner,
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu,
19 yeas, 2 abstentions.
Thank you. The yeses have it and the motion is adopted. Next discussion item, changing the language to activity 2.2.2 in the 2027 action plan. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to change the language to activity 2.2.2. In the 2027 action plan from provide funding, support, and technical assistance to complete a study on transportation needs and barriers throughout the state of Louisiana for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to conduct research on what is needed to complete a study on on transportation needs and barriers throughout the state of Louisiana for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
We do have a hand raised. It's Ashley Allen. Have 2 hands raised. And
Is there any discussion from council members?
Nathan Hanks? And Ashley Allen. They're both council members.
Okay, and the names again, I'm sorry.
Ashley Allen.
Okay, I'll go with her first. The chair recognizes Ms. Ashley Allen.
Hi, thank you, Madam Chair. My question is just, is it going to remain the same amount of funding for the research?
So Ashley, this particular activity had $45,000 connected to it. We will have to reallocate that funding. And once we get to the next motion, we'll take care of that part because we're gonna have to have the executive committee reallocate that funding whenever they look at those other activities that we didn't receive any proposals for. So council staff will be conducting the research, and so there will
got
be no money, no funding tied to it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Landon Haynes was next.
Chair recognizes Landon Hay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For this particular thing, council members are doing it throughout all regions of the state to conduct, correct me if for this particular motion, to present it in the action plan for the 28 year to, for the legislator, for this particular thing for transportation.
Could you repeat that, Landon?
Yes, ma'am. I said for this research plan that we are doing, council members are going to be ones doing it, and we are going to be studying the difficulties of transportation to present to the legislator in the 2028 action plan.
Sure, I can explain.
Okay.
So what we're gonna look at is researching the study needs for the 2028 plan. So we're gonna look at what entities out there could possibly do a study like this here in Louisiana, how much that's gonna cost, and bring that information to the council to consider when they're planning for next year's action plan, or technically 2028's action plan. So that way in our 2028 fiscal year, y'all can then possibly get a study done that would then be able to direct advocacy moving forward on how we can address our transportation needs here in the state.
I thought council members were going to conduct it. You said you were looking for agency. If I correct me if I'm just wrong, what was just said?
So we'll do the research, the council staff will do the research on maybe other agencies or organizations that can actually conduct that study. So we're not gonna do the study since no one applied to actually do the study for us. We're gonna look at different organizations out there, collaborate with some of our other councils, find out who may have done studies like this for them, start reaching out to those agencies so we could find out if they would be interested in doing a study for us, how much that would cost. And then hopefully we'll have that information for y'all to be able to put in your next action plan.
Makes sense. Thank you, sir. No further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Landon.
Patty Bear-Vecchio is next.
The chair recognizes Mrs. Patty.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The questioning or the discussion has helped add some light to my question, but basically what you're doing is conducting a landscape assessment to assess what is needed and what an appropriate cost would be to complete this study on transportation needs and barriers. So this would be done by council staff, if I'm understanding correct. And my concern as well was like to do a landscape assessment and determine the needs for doing this study, you know, like it doesn't seem like it would require the amount of funding that we would be considering for actually conducting the study. So the clarity that the council staff will be doing what I would consider like a landscape assessment, who's done it before, kind of what it entailed, and what needs to be in place to do it well. So I guess I really don't have a question any longer other than the clarification. Should it be clearly here that this duty is assigned to council staff, that this is not going out for bid for somebody to conduct a landscape assessment of what is needed to complete this transportation study?
Okay, so you, certainly if that's the will of the council, y'all could add that. Typically, whenever we have activities that we don't have funding attached to, that's typically the responsibility of staff.
Okay.
To handle, yeah. And so that funding will be moved, like Ebony said, once the executive committee meets to figure out how to redistribute funding based on more motions y'all have to consider shortly.
Thank you, Ms. Patty.
And we have Ms. Jill Hano with her hand raised.
The chair recognizes Jill Payno.
Thank you. I think y'all probably touched on this, but, how much funding was originally allocated for activity 2.2.2?
45,000.
And so are we gonna, what was the planning committee? April?
Believe so, because y'all met twice, but was it both in April, Stephanie, the planning
Yes.
committee? Yeah, end of March, early April.
So 45,000. And then are we gonna, how are we like gonna reallocate this $45,000, or how does that work? I think you said it yesterday in one of our meetings, but could y'all refresh my memory?
Yes, Jill, the fund will be reallocated. It's gonna be.
Yeah, so Jill, the next two activities that we're gonna talk about, so those next two motions that are coming up, for the three activities that you all did not receive funding for, whenever the executive committee meets to review applications that are gonna be submitted after the deadline, you all are gonna be responsible for reallocating that funding.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jill. Any public comment?
No public comment.
Right, are you ready for the question? The question is to recommend changing the language to activity 2.2.2 in the 2027 action plan. We will now have a roll call vote. If you are in favor of the motion to make these changes, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Allen,
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio,
Yes.
Dr. Baravecchio, yes. Ms. Bayham,
Yes.
Ms. Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings,
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchky,
Yes.
Mr. Blanchky, yes. Mr. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Ashery,
Yes.
Ms. Ashery, yes. Ms. Crane,
Yes.
Ms. Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, yes. Ms. Hano,
Yes.
Ms. Hano, yes. Mr. Hanks,
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon,
Yes.
Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso,
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta,
Yes.
Can you repeat that, Dr. Mehta?
Yeah, I said yes.
Dr.
Yes.
Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart,
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner,
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu.
21, yay. No abstention.
Okay, the yeses have it, and the motion is adopted. The next discussion item, providing the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for activity 3.1.4 submitted after the deadline. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to recommend providing the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for activity 3.1.4 submitted after the deadline. Is there any discussion from council members?
Madam President.
Any public comment?
No public.
Okay. Are you ready for the question? The question is on recommending providing the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for activity 3.1.4 submitted after the deadline. We will now have a roll call vote. If you're in favor of the motion, when your name is called, say yes. If you're opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio?
Yes.
Dr. Baravecchio, yes. Ms. Bayham?
Yes.
Ms. Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Ms. Billings?
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchky?
Yes.
Mr. Blanchky, yes. Mr. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Zachary?
Yes.
Zachary, yes. Ms. Crane?
Yes.
Ms. Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, yes. Ms. Hano?
Yes.
Ms. Hano, yes. Mr. Hanks?
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon?
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Aduli?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Aduli, yes. Mr. Macaluso?
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta?
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner?
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu? That is
21.
1 yes.
Yes.
Okay.
0 nays, 0 abstention.
Okay, thank you. The yeses have it and the motion is adopted. The next discussion item, providing the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for activity 3.2.1 submitted after the deadline. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to recommend providing the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for activity 3.2.1 submitted after the deadline. Is there any discussion from council members? The chair recognizes Mr. Bryan.
Would the intent still be to try to, whoever selected, maintain that same timeline of October through September for them to complete their work?
So I was going to have some comments for this particular activity. So we didn't get a chance to discuss this in the executive committee because we were kind of running out of time and I thought that motion would take care of it. But there was an applicant that submitted like well after the deadline. It was the same one who submitted for the transportation study. The council decided not to accept their proposal and to change that activity, which y'all just voted on, to conduct the research instead of allotting that funding. For this particular one, the council staff had options as well that we didn't present to the committee, so I'll present them now to the full council. We reached out to a couple of organizations because you all didn't receive any proposals for those regional job fairs. And so we brainstormed and came up with another option just changing the wording again to that particular activity. From the actual regional job fairs to providing like a toolkit instead. That would explain the benefits of hiring people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And also giving employers information and resources to help them recruit, hire, and support people with disabilities in the workplace. So that was gonna be the option that we presented to change that activity, keep the same funding, but change it up. And the organizations that we did speak to were very interested, and they said that they would submit a proposal if we were to change that activity. So that was the suggestion of the council staff, but there is a proposal that you all received after the deadline. So you have two options. You can accept that proposal, or you can take the recommendation from the staff, change up that activity, and then we can accept those proposals from the organizations that were interested in applying. So I know this kind of messes up the motion. Nicole, can you advise us on how, or I guess maybe you all need to discuss what you want to do, what the council's will is. Do you want to accept the recommendation from the staff to change up that activity, or do you want to accept that proposal that was submitted after the deadline?
Okay, so, if the language needs to be changed like the
Yes.
previous one,
Yes.
then that would simply be an amendment that someone would have to make, and just add it into, the motion as it stands. So it would be to change the language to allow for whatever that change is, and then provide the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for the activity submitted after. So again, if that's what you want to do, I just need a motion to amend to add that to it. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion for the amendment.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
So as soon as she puts it on the screen, then we can repeat it. Steps to-
Have the language, we're just moving it from one person to another.
Sorry about that.
At this time, everyone, it is just a pause to put the motion on the screen.
So just bear with me.
It is moved and seconded to change the language for activity 3.2.1 from to complete a job fair training in each region to create and promote a toolkit for employers about the benefits of hiring people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and ways to support them in the workplace. Is there any discussion from council members?
I have a question. So I just want to make sure that the executive committee will have the authority to move that, to reallocate the money.
Yeah, that change will then be added to the pending motion.
Okay.
So the amended motion would be to
Change them.
to allow for the change language in the activity and this activity to be, for the executive committee to have authority to approve applications in the changed language of activity 3.2.1 for applications submitted after. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any public comment?
No public.
Okay, are you ready for the question? The question is on changing the language for activity 3.2.1 from to complete a job fair training in each region to the highlighted portion that says to create and promote a toolkit for employers about the benefits of hiring people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and ways to support them in the workplace. We will now have a roll call vote. If you're in favor.
Sorry, Melissa has a question.
Thank you. I think it's a great idea. I'm just trying to figure out, like the toolkit, who will have access to the toolkit to be able to provide to employers? Or is that not decided yet?
No, I mean,
I guess what I'm.
part of that will be, our intent was to get it in front of anybody and everybody, to
Okay.
share it with LRS, to share it with Chambers of Commerce, to share it with, to make it available on our website. And also by toolkit for those, because I had this question yesterday, we're not talking about like a flyer. We're talking about a substantial packet of information that is both just benefits of hiring people with disabilities and that what they can contribute to your workforce, and also, or how can you get assistance on accommodations and what, are there any tax benefit, and all the information. So we would expect the contractor to work with benefits planning and different organizations to compile all this information, as well as just be a subject matter expert, right, in employment as well, to get that information together. And then share it with any agency, any nonprofit, anyone that touches employment, we're hoping to be able to get that information.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I guess what I was thinking, we have job developers and people, our rehabilitation and employment development specialists. So they'll be able to use this toolkit and provide it to employers.
That's the intent. Yeah.
Okay, great, that's great.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, we will now have a roll call vote. If you're in favor of the
I'm
motion.
sorry. Ms. Patty Bear Hill, she just raised her hand.
Chair recognizes.
Well, Dr. Patty.
Sorry, 1 minute. So I do feel like it's a great idea. But the promote, I feel like if what is the funding amount for this activity?
Currently 45,000.
Yeah, so to assemble a resource packet and I feel like, is there more meat to like what they have to do to promote it? Like you said, get it in the hands of all of the, employers, Chamber of Commerce and that type of thing. But I would want to see like, in public health, we create a lot of toolkits and dissemination is the key component. I would say stronger language than promoting, like have, if there's some type of benchmark of getting this disseminated to the key stakeholders that we're trying to reach through this, getting employers attuned to the benefits of hiring people with disabilities. So I do think that it's a great idea, but also we want it widely disseminated and to have something, some type of benchmark as far as like what the expectation of dissemination reach would be.
Yeah, so in the plan activity itself, just kind of real upper level. Kind of
Yes.
gets our idea out there, but specifically what you're talking about is what we would address through our proposal and contracting process. To have
Perfect.
for those details of kind of who we think they should have connections to. Some of that we don't really map it out yet, because based on the proposal, we want to know
Sure.
who these entities are connected with, and then can we build upon that as well? But yeah, we'll definitely, in the contracting process, we'll hash that out of what that distribution and promotion will look like. So I don't know if that answers the question.
And just to follow up, Patty, I did change the language a little bit. I mean, to make it a little stronger. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. but-
I can, and that does, promote just has a very vague meaning. So I do like that, is that, you're kind of clearly stating that there's a charge to disseminate to a certain population. So thank you.
Yeah, but you're changing the change after she reads what the
Oh.
change is. That's what people are voting on.
Okay.
So if she's proposing to change the change, it's still gotta vote on changing the change.
Okay.
So if that's the amendment, then now you just highlight just that part there. Do we want to add that as opposed to the word promote? And then once we've added that, do you want this full yellow part added? And then once we added the full yellow part, do you want to do the thing? Do you want to add it to the?
Okay, so
You understand?
just tell me what
You
to do
can't.
first. Do I need to add the word
So
promote back,
your
or-
choices are this: you can keep promote, and then because of what Brent said, that you will expand that language to disseminate blah, blah, blah during the administration of the process,
Mhm.
it will be included.
Okay.
Or you can add this step of voting to change the word from promote to disseminate blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Also, not to sway anyone, but since you do try to keep your plan in a very plain language format, words like disseminate, I think would go against most of the wording that you've already put in your plan.
Sure.
On our end, Patty, as council staff, we can make sure that we negotiate that wording with whatever organization the council or the executive committee decides to give the contract to.
Awesome. Thank you.
And in the Education Employment Committee in October, we can report out on some of those more fine details of what they're gonna do with that particular initiative.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Barrecchia. Okay. Any other public comment?
Did you still want to speak?
No, I think we got cleared up.
Okay. No public comment.
Okay. Are you ready for the question? Question is to change the language for activity 3.2.1 from to complete a job fair training in each region to create and promote a toolkit for employers about the benefits of hiring people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and ways to support them in the workplace. We will have a roll call vote. If you're in favor of the motion, when your name is called, say yes. If you're opposed, say no. If you have abstained, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Barravecchia?
Yes.
Dr. Barravecchia, yes. Ms. Bayham?
Abstain.
Ms. Bayham abstain. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings?
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchard?
Abstain.
Mr. Blanchard abstain. Mr. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Zachary?
Yes.
Ms. Zachary, yes. Ms. Crane?
Abstain.
Ms. Crane abstain. Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, yes. Ms. Hano?
Yes.
Ms. Hano, yes. Mr. Hanks?
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon?
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso?
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta?
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner?
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu? Eighteen yeses, 3 abstentions.
That's what I have. I thought I had missed one, so I was waiting for your count, but I also have 18 and 3 abstentions.
Okay, thank you. The yeses have it and the motion is adopted. Now, since we have changed the language, the amended motion is to provide funding, support, and technical assistance to create and promote a toolkit for employers about the benefits of hiring people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and ways to support them in the workplace, and to provide the executive committee authority to review. Oh, I'm so sorry. And approve applications for activity 3.2.1 submitted after the deadline. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to provide funding, support, and technical assistance to create and promote a toolkit for employers about the benefits of hiring people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and ways to support them in the workplace, and provide the executive committee authority to review and approve applications for activity 3.2.1 submitted after the deadline. Is there any discussion from council members?
Discussion. Oh, sorry.
Stephanie.
I'm so sorry. I just have a clarifying question.
Uh-huh.
The last vote was just the language change. This vote is the amended motion.
Yes.
And we now have Ms. Jill Hayno.
The chair recognizes Ms. Jill Hayno.
Thanks, guys. Quick question, just to clarify. So if this passes, there would be an SOP and then a deadline, and then would the executive committee meet before October?
Yes, Jill.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you, Renata.
Thank you, Jill. Any public comment? Okay, are you ready for the question? The question is on,
Which part, I'm so sorry, I don't even speak out of turn. Which part shouldn't be in here, cause I guess I'm confused about what the amended.
The amended motion, now that we added the change, is the last 2 paragraphs that she read. Which is the new language now, and that the executive committee will have authority.
Can someone scroll up for just a second?
Is that correct?
That is
Yes.
correct, and you can take the highlight off, that's now all of, they're voting on the whole thing. There you go.
okay, we are now voting on the amended motion that's on the screen. We will have a roll call vote. If you're in favor of the motion, when your name is called, say yes. If you're opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio?
Yes.
Dr. Baravecchio, yes. Ms. Bayham?
Abstain.
Ms. Bayham abstain. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings?
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchky?
Yes.
Mr. Blanchky, yes. Mr. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Sashri?
Yes.
Ms. Sashri, yes. Ms. Crane?
Abstain.
Ms. Crane abstain. Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, yes. Ms. Hayno?
Yes.
Ms. Hayno, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Hanks?
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon?
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso?
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta?
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Quinn? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner?
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu? 19 yes.
It's two abstentions.
Two abstentions.
Thank you so much. The yeses have it, and the motion is adopted. The next discussion item is the acceptance of the resignation of Mike Billings and recommending resubmission of Audrey Gilliam to the Governor's Office of Boards and Commissions for council membership. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. It is moved to accept the resignation of Mike Billings and recommending resubmission of Audrey Gilliam to the Governor's Office of Boards and Commissions for council membership. Is there any discussion from council members? The chair recognizes Brian.
Was it mentioned earlier that the reason we're recommending this individual is just to ensure that our membership is, we have statewide representation? Is that one of the reasons?
Yes, that was one of the reasons.
That was one, but she was also one of the recommendations that we sent to the governor's office during the last submission.
Okay.
And she would help the council meet that requirement, that federal requirement, because she does make sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Mr. Landon Hanks has his hand raised.
The chair recognizes Landon Hanks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Kermit, I just have a clarification question on the previous thing that was discussed. This was help us cover North Louisiana, if I'm corrected. Audrey Gilmore, member that we have for the boards and commissions, the governor's office would help us cover the northern Louisiana region of the state.
Yes, the northern region of the state. Yes, sir.
Okay, nothing further, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Any public comment? Okay,
Miss Elena Sashri just raised her hand.
the chair recognizes Elena Satchery.
You still on mute, Elena?
Sorry about that. Audrey, I believe we interviewed her, right?
Yes.
Didn't we interview her? I think I actually might have done her interview. And
Possible.
I personally think I did partners in policy making with her as well. So I just wanted to say probably be an amazing fit for our council. I from what I remember from her interview. And then her experience in advocacy, I think she would be a good fit.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Elena.
And that's it.
The question is on recommending acceptance of the resignation of Mike Billings and recommends resubmission of Audrey Gilliam to the Governor's Office of Boards and Commissions for council membership. We will now have a roll call vote. If you're in favor of the motion, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio?
Abstain.
Dr. Baravecchio abstain. Ms. Bayham?
Yes.
Ms. Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings?
Abstain.
Mr. Billings abstain. Mr. Blanchkey?
Yes.
Mr. Blanchkey, yes. Mr. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Sashri?
You're muted, Elena.
Yes.
Ms. Sashri, yes. Ms. Crane?
Yes.
Ms. Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, yes. Ms. Hayno?
I suppose I'll honor my friend's wishes, so yes, but whatever.
So is that a yes, Joe?
Yes,
Ms. Hayno, yes.
whatever.
Mr. Hanks?
Yes.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon?
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Aduli?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Aduli, yes. Mr. Macaluso?
Yes.
Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta?
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner?
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu? Two yeses, two abstentions.
Okay, thank you. The yeses have it and the motion is adopted.
According to the ground rules, we're supposed to take a break every 1.5 hours. Yes.
Okay, guys, if there's no objections, we can pause the meeting for recess for 10 minutes. Hearing none, the meeting is now at recess. It's now 11:30. We will reconvene at 11:40. Yes.
Yeah, I was supposed to warn me for that.
So let's see, get you two rolling.
Oh, no, it's
It's
on.
on,
We didn't
okay.
stop it.
All right, we're back from recess. We're gonna go ahead with the rest of the discussion items. The next one is recommendation that council staff draft a letter to council member to be sent by certified mail requesting resignation in writing by August 20th, 2026. Because the motion is coming from a committee, it does not require a second. All right, it is moved that the executive committee, it is moved that we recommend that council staff draft a letter to Pascal Nguyen to be sent by certified mail requesting resignation in writing by August 20th, 2026. Is there any discussion from council members?
No hands raised.
Oh,
I'm
the
sorry.
chair recognizes Brian Bennett.
Are we able to share the reason for with?
Well,
So
in the,
I can help you out, Renata, if you want, or you can read what you have. Yeah, just read that.
when we read this report, according to, the bylaws, it states that the executive committee will take action if a member misses 3 quarterly council meetings and or committee meetings in a 12-month period, or 2 quarterly council meetings and or committee meetings in a row in a 12-month period. And I think Ebony has, I don't have the number of how many.
I have, it's.
Yeah, so if you look in your folder, yeah, you can see the absences. And I don't want to discuss personal things that were discussed in executive session, but I will say that we have reached out. There has been attempts at communication and there just hasn't been any response.
Okay, does that answer?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. All right, any public comment?
No public comment.
Okay. Okay, the question is on the executive committee recommends council staff draft a letter to Pascal Nguyen to be sent by certified mail requesting resignation in writing by August 20th, 2026. We'll have a roll call vote. If you're in favor of the motion, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Dr. Mata just raised his hand.
All right, the chair recognizes Dr. Mata.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What if she does not?
Okay, as mentioned in the report, if the member does not resign, the committee can ask the governor's office of boards and commissions to remove the member. And that's according to the bylaws.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Ms. Allen,
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio,
Abstain.
Dr. Baravecchio abstain. Ms. Bayham,
Yes.
Ms. Bayham, yes. Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings,
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchke,
Yes.
Mr. Blanchke, yes. Mr. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Sashri,
Yes.
Ms. Sashri, yes. Ms. Crane,
Yes.
Ms. Crane, yes. Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, yes. Ms. Hana,
Yeah.
Jill has not.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Shit. Shoot.
Just trying to get her camera going.
Keep double clicking. Okay, wait, there's my sofa. Ow! A cord is in between my toes.
Next time, Jill. Oh, there you go. Color commentary.
Yes.
Ms. Hano, yes? Mr. Hanks?
Yes, madam.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon?
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso?
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta?
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner?
Yes.
Ms. Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor? Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu?
19 yeas, 1 abstention.
Okay, the yeses have it and the motion is adopted. Thank you, members. We made it through. All right, the next item of business is public comments received regarding the FFY 2027 action plan. The chair recognizes Ebony Haven to share the information.
Okay, so we forgot to include the public comment in your packets, but it was sent to you all. And I apologize if it wasn't clear. I actually sent it to you all in conjunction with the orientation session number 5 information. So if it got lost, I apologize for that. But we received, we put out your 2027 action plan for a 45-day public comment period. After that 45 days, we only received 2 public comments, which are included in the packet now, and we have added those comments to the website as well for those who are attending virtually. I'm not gonna read the public comment, but I did include the original public comment in that document, plus a plain language version, because the first comment was sort of long. And I wanted to try and condense it so you all would get the gist of what they wanted. And then you all can discuss the public comment. And if you want to make any changes based on those comments that you received, now would be the time to make those changes in your action. Add a comment.
Yes.
I will also say that if you are interested in doing, in changing anything up, just remember, this is the first year of your 5-year plan. So you still have 4 years where you can incorporate some of these things. I know that I've even talked to the chair about the second public comment, where there needs to just be more information about the whole person. And kind of what that looks like if they are being cared for by a loved one that is growing older, and how, you transition those services. So again, if you are interested in changing anything, that could definitely go to the FY 28 planning committee for incorporation into your next action plan, if y'all didn't want to make any changes this year.
And you do have a hand raised, Mr. Landon.
Okay, the chair recognizes Landon Hanks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Ebony, with you recommending that, so you're saying we can, out of the 5 years, we can recommend any? So what I'm meaning by that is a particular question to perhaps clarify. So let's say, like, right now there's nothing, but let's say in my community there's something that comes up and I'm like, hey, there should be something that perhaps the council could consider. Would that just be brought to you guys during the 5 year, before the 28 plan or 27 plan, whenever the 5 year plan, before the 5 year plan, this 5 year plan is done?
Yes, Landon. So every year, every January, the committees, the Self-Determination and Community Inclusion Committee and the Education and Employment Committee, they come up with ideas for the next action plan to submit to the planning committee. So let's say that you did come up with an idea for recreation, an activity for recreation. You could submit that idea in your standing committee, and I think you were on the Self-Determination and Community Inclusion Committee. So during that January meeting, you would bring your idea, and that idea will be submitted to the planning committee for their consideration.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you, Ms. Ebony. No further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Ebony. Any questions or discussion?
No, ma'am.
No questions, no public comments, nothing? Okay. Before we go to a vote, then Ebony, do you mind just kind of discussing the significance of reallocating funding?
Okay, so we know that we just changed the transportation activity 2.2.2, where we're not allocating that $45,000 to a transportation study. Instead, the staff is gonna conduct research. So it's gonna be important for the executive committee when they are reviewing proposals and looking at the plan, that they're able to reallocate that $45,000, maybe to other activities that you already have in your plan. They won't create any activities, but they just need permission to reallocate that funding to maybe YLF, because they did ask for additional funding, or partners, or any other activity that you have in your plan. We can reallocate that funding. So today, we aren't able to finalize your 2027 action plan because, number one, the executive committee has to meet on those proposals that we're receiving after the deadline, but also you all have to reallocate that $45,000. So it's important for the council to give the executive committee the authority also to reallocate funding and to ratify the final 2027 action plan. Does that cover it?
Yes, thank you so much. Any questions on what Ebony just shared? Okay. The chair recognizes Brian Bennett.
So do we need to offer a motion? Okay.
Yes, we're gonna get into that. All right? Want to make sure everybody is clear. All right? So the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the executive committee to reallocate funding as needed and to ratify the final FY 2027 action plan.
I'll make the
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
All right, it is moved and seconded to authorize the executive committee to reallocate funding as needed and to ratify the final FY 2027 action plan. Is there any discussion from council members?
Ms. Patty had her hand raised.
Okay.
I was just saying that the motion was not on the, I'm sorry, I wasn't recognized.
I'm sorry, Dr. Patty, I keep saying.
The chair recognizes Dr. Perry Vecchio. Thank you. Any discussion from council members?
No discussion.
Any public comment? All right, the question is on to authorize the executive committee to reallocate funding as needed and to ratify the final FY 2027 action plan. We will now have a roll call vote. If you are in favor of the motion, when your name is called, say yes. If you are opposed, say no. If you abstain, say abstain. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Allen, yes. Dr. Baravecchio?
Abstain.
Dr. Baravecchio abstain. Ms. Bayham?
Abstain.
Ms. Bayham abstain. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, yes. Mr. Billings?
Yes.
Mr. Billings, yes. Mr. Blanchky?
Yes.
Mr. Blanchky, yes. Mr. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Boynton, yes. Ms. Sashri?
Yes.
Ms. Sashri, yes. Ms. Crane?
Abstain.
Ms. Crane, abstain. Mr. Doyle? Yeah. Ms. Hano?
Yes, and Miss Crane abstains, runs.
Ms. Hano, yes. Mr. Hanks?
Yes, madam.
Mr. Hanks, yes. Ms. Harmon?
Yes.
Ms. Harmon, yes. Ms. Kelly Dooley?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Dooley, yes. Mr. Macaluso?
Yes.
Mr. Macaluso, yes. Dr. Meta?
Yes.
Dr. Meta, yes. Ms. Nguyen? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart, yes. Ms. Tanner?
Yes.
Tanner, yes. Mr. Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Taylor, yes. Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Ms. Shu? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 17 yeses, 3 abstentions, so your yeses have it.
Thank you. The yeses have it and the motion is adopted. The next item of business is the executive director's report. The chair recognizes Ebony Haven for the report.
Okay, it has been a long morning with all of your motions this morning, but good morning, everybody. We're almost in afternoon, so I'm gonna make this sort of quick. I want to highlight our annual report. We completed it during the last quarter and it is available on our website. The report came out really nice and I think that Lauren is gonna share it on the screen in just a second. But we did print out 2 copies for you all today to like kind of review, but you can view it on the website. But I'm gonna have Waukesha pass these out for me, if you will, so you all can look at it in the printed form. And our annual report, it highlights the accomplishments that the council had in 2025 in your action plan, and it includes like the legislative wins we had during the 2025 legislative session, the Partners in Policymaking alumni event that was held last year. And it highlights a couple of other things, but specifically the FASD initiative that we had with our sister agency, LSU HDC, just to name a few. There are other things that are highlighted in the report, but I just wanted to name those because I thought the council did a very good job with those particular initiatives in their 25 action. I also wanted to welcome our new program monitor. That program monitor position that we had vacant is now filled. And our new program monitor, Ms. Taylor Barber. You wanna say, I say, keep your head out, keep your head out so people online can see you. I know it's hard to see online, but we finally filled one of the program monitor positions, so the council staff is fully staffed now. And I'm really excited to welcome Taylor to our team. She comes from Florida, and she was working with the Florida Department of Health. And we just all feel like she's gonna be a great asset to our team. She'll be working on the LaCan contracts and the Family Helping Families contracts. She'll be monitoring those. So please say hello and get to know Taylor during the break. She's a great asset to our team. So welcome, Taylor. I do want to highlight the council's great success that you had in your 2026 legislative advocacy. You have 4 things on your advocacy agenda, and we were really successful in all of them, even though some of the funding that we were requesting wasn't fully funded, but we did receive some funding. So you got $250,000 restored for our Families Helping Families Regional Resource Centers. $2 million of that $6.8 million that we were asking the legislature for was added for LRS Employment Services. We received $10 million added to help improve waiver service rates and the direct support worker pay. I know Bernard is going to kind of talk about what they're going to do with that $10.7 million during his report. And then we had, lastly, Brian's Call became law. So Brian's Call is the new emergency alert that will help to find missing people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So overall, your legislative advocacy agenda for 2026 was very, very successful. And so I don't normally do this, but I do want to give a huge thank you and great job to my Deputy Director, Brenton Andrus. He's responsible for our roundtable presentations, our action alerts, and our information alerts that go out during session. And I just think he's done an incredible job of mastering plain language and making sure that our alerts, our roundtable presentation is all accessible for everyone. And so I just want to tell him thank you. Thank you so much for your hard work, Brenton.
Thank you. Great job.
Yes.
Great job.
Well done.
One thing that I do want to highlight that is included in my report is our collaborative efforts. And if you guys notice, I did sort of revamp my executive director's report, so I hope you guys like it. But if you go to the collaborative efforts, Lauren, I think if you go down a little bit, it talks about our collaboration with NACDD. Last month, the council shared information on the Department of Justice's recent opinion about the integration mandate under the Americans with Disabilities Act and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. For more than 25 years, that mandate has said that people with disabilities should receive services in the most integrated setting that meets their needs. And the mandate has also helped people with disabilities receive services in their communities instead of institutions. Well, in June, the Department of Justice changed their opinion about how they're going to interpret that law. And so there were 3 main points in their opinion. The first point was that in 1999, the Supreme Court Olmstead decision, they're basically saying that it does not require states to always provide services in community settings. Instead, the Department of Justice says that Olmstead only found that unnecessary institutionalization can be disability discrimination in certain situations. Also, that opinion stated that the ADA in Section 504 prohibit disability discrimination, but it does not require services to always be provided in the most integrated setting. And then thirdly, the opinion said that federal agencies should review regulations and guidance based on the integration mandate because the Department of Justice believes that those agencies are going beyond what Congress intended. Again, we sent out information in July this month about an updated opinion that the Department of Justice issued about the guidance on the Supreme Court's Olmstead decision. And in that update, they basically said that the Olmstead guidance and similar guidance documents are not legally enforceable, that the Department of Justice will not rely on that guidance when enforcing Title II of the ADA. And the Department of Justice will review the guidance to decide whether it matches the language of the ADA. So you may be asking yourself, why is this important? Well, it's important because federal agencies may review, based on this opinion, federal agencies may review or revise their regulations and guidance when it comes to the integration mandate, which says that people with disabilities should receive services in the most integrated setting that meets their needs. But it can also change how the Department of Justice handles complaints and takes legal action involving community-based services, because they're no longer going to rely on the Olmstead guidance. So what has not changed? So that's why it's important that we, stay diligent, that we continue to watch these issues as the Department of Justice puts out information. But what has not changed is the Supreme Court's ruling. It still stands. The Olmstead ruling still stands. The court found that keeping a person with a disability in an institution without a valid reason can be disability discrimination. So it's just important, again, that we're aware of these changes, because they could potentially have negative impacts on people with disabilities and their ability to live in the community. So as your council staff will continue to watch this particular issue, and will continue to give out information. And so I don't want to end on a negative note. So the last thing, and this will be included in my next report because it's actually something that's happening right now. July is National Disability Pride Month, and the council is conducting a disability pride campaign right now where we're featuring self-advocates and family members who are expressing what disability pride means to them. So I want to give a special shout out to our council members who participated in our campaign, including Aiden, Jill, Elena, and Eric. And they have already been featured. So if you guys want to see their post on social media, you can go to our Facebook page and view those wonderful posts. And I'll also say at the end of this month, we're going to combine all the entries that we received for the campaign, and we'll send them out in the newsletter. But I want to commend Stephanie on doing a great job with the Disability Pride Month campaign this month. And that is all I have for today.
Thank you, Kevin. Are there any questions about the report? The report requires no action and it will be placed on file. Okay, question, are you guys okay with hearing Ebony's budget report before or after lunch?
It won't take long.
Would that pick us up, we'll be up on time every week.
We're still a little behind.
We do have a hand raised, Mr. Frank Macaluso.
The chair recognizes Frank.
I'd say just go ahead and get it over with, so that way it would already be done.
Yes, sir, thank you. Okay. All right, the next item of business is the budget report. The chair recognizes Ebony Haven for that report.
Okay, I think Lauren is gonna share the budget on the screen, but it's also included in your packet and online for those members that are attending virtually. At the time that the report was created, all of our June invoices hadn't been processed yet. And all of our June expenditures hadn't been processed. So I will say that the percentages, like the year-to-date percentages, will go up. And that'll be reflected in our final year-end budget that I'll present at the October meeting. I also want to just kind of highlight, you guys will see that we're only at about 2% expenditures in the supplies category, and that's just because we just haven't really needed any supplies. And again, that's administrative costs, so we will trying to keep those down as well. But I will say that that percentage will go up because we did purchase a wonderful new screen. I don't know if you all noticed that we have a new screen. We purchased a new projector. Since we are gonna be having 2 virtual meetings now, we wanted to just make sure that the streaming was just a little bit better for everybody that will be attending virtually, and then those that are in the room. So I think that's really all I have, unless anybody has any specific questions about the budget.
Okay, thank you, Ebony. Are there any questions from council members on the report? No questions. Okay, the report requires no action and will be placed on file. All right, if there's no objection, the meeting will recess for lunch. Hearing none, the meeting is now at recess for lunch. It is 12:12. We will reconvene at the bell. Thank you.